Right. Yeah, time of the week again, more Amstrad Action. Starting issue number 53. Not halfway through these issues. There's another 64 left. 64 more issues. Issue number 53, February 1990. £1.45. Still Britain's best-selling magazine for the CPC. 464, 664, 6128. Not an official Amstrad publication. And turbocharge your CPC if you dare. Grab these games. Untouchables, Challenge the Mob, and Ocean's Blockbuster. Jack Nicklaus Golf. Tops in the Clubhouse. Hard Drivin. Dermark makes the grade, can you? Plus, free software, the public domain explored. Video effects part 2. Machine code mastery. Playing with ProText, the conclusion. All the best cheats, maps, pokes, help, review, type-ins, news, letters. The Pack Attack. And compilation packs that are out of this world. Mega Mix. The Biz. 100% Dynamite. Oh, we come across that already. The Lineup. Amstrad Action, February 1990. Am Scene. If it's not there, it didn't happen. Reaction. Mr. Angry writes, broadly speaking, ever puts the world right. Software at the speed of light. Adam, chips with everything wearing, gets into EP-ROMs. The action begins on 43. Hard Drivin. Freescape eat your heart out. This one really moves. Untouchables. Show Elliot Ness how it's done. Forum. You've got what stuck in your RS-232? Adam sorts them out. Subscriptions. The best CPC bag in the world delivered straight to your door. Pro Tennis Tour. Who said tennis was just a racket? Jack and Nicklaus Golf. Accolade puts you in the driving seat. Groan. Going public. Jerry Glenwright finds out if free means cheap. And a complete Batman maps. So naked video. Conrad Besant chips with his CITC tips. Also got Hard Drivin, Untouchables, Pro Tennis Tour, Joe Blade 3, woohoo, Classic Arcadia, Test Drive 2, Thrill Time, Saigon Combat Unit, Rock and Roll, Dan Deere 3, Jack Nicklaus Golf. Well, that's probably about it, I think. Seems to be most of them. Anyway, bigger than ever. Well, Christmas has come and gone, and those quality games are still pouring out. There's incredible fast-filled 3D Hard Drivin from Domark for a start. The monochrome main display doesn't make for a great first impression, but in terms of a really playable driving sim, Domark's latest is a corker. There are even rumours of additional scenario discs to follow. And of course, there's a wonderful Untouchables already featured on last month's cover tape. Ocean took a brave decision in going for single colour graphics, but the results are highly atmospheric, highly detailed, and superbly animated. Last but not least, it's Accolade's Jack Nicklaus Golf. The sport may not be everyone's cup of tea, but anyone can appreciate how golf games have evolved since the original leaderboard. The graphics are simply stunning. Software houses are really starting to make the best of the CPC at last. If you thought this month's crop of new releases was impressive, just hold on tight for Chase HQ next month. Ooh. The Balrog, more adventuring lore from the hairy one. Oh. The essential add-on. The Amstrad User Club. I am a resident in the UK. Yeah, not one of them foreigners, I guess. Amscene releases update preview. New releases updates previews. New 464 upgrades banned. Locomotive software withdraws 6128 ROMs after licensing row with Amstrad. Standalone 6128 ROMs have been withdrawn from sale due to a rift between Amstrad and Locomotive, owner of the software rights to the BASIC contained in the ROMs. The chips are no longer available individually. This is potentially disastrous news for 464 owners planning to upgrade their machines to 6128 specs. Locomotive wrote both the operating system and the BASIC for the CPC. Amstrad then bought the operating system outright, but continued to license the 6128 BASIC from Locomotive. The licensing agreement covered the use of 6128 BASIC ROMs as parts of the whole 128K machine, but not the sale of the ROMs as separate items. However, Locomotive discovered that the ROMs were being sold outside the licensing agreement, and without payment to them, outraged, the company confronted Amstrad with the result that 6128 ROMs are no longer available individually to users wanting to upgrade their 464s. Business-wise, this may be a good move, but for 464 owners and the many small companies which depended on the upgrade service, it is a disaster. The information first came to light as firms providing the service found that supplies had dried up. AA attempted to contact both Locomotive and Amstrad, but neither were available for comment at the time of going to press. CBC gets the push. The CBC was finally given the support it needed this Christmas with a major advertising campaign in both the national press and specialist magazines, part of Amstrad's £7 million sales strategy for boosting its share in the consumer electronics market. The ads pushed the CPC's versatility and power as both a serious and games machine. The CPC's image has been adapted for the 90s with lurid pictures and streetwise banter, all part of the pitch. It appears that Amstrad has eventually realised what a goldmine it's been sitting on and is at long last beginning to exploit the CPC's vast sales potential. Ocean cleaned up. It was all tears and speeches when the computer entertainment world held its annual industry dinner, in London on the 18th of December. The event was dedicated to raising money for the Royal Variety Club of Great Britain, and also featured the results of an industry-wide poll on the year's best software. The event gives programmers a brief moment of glory and software houses a chance to slap each other on the back. This year's event was hosted by Lenny Henry and raised a staggering £27,500 for the Variety Club from spontaneous donations, pledges and an auction. The results of the voting were Best Budget 8-Bit, Postman Pat, which was the first of a new wave of licenses from Alternative aimed specifically at the £2.99 and under market. Best Adventure 8-Bit went to Origin Systems for its gauntlet-style Times of Law. The Best Simulation 8-Bit was won by a game only now being coded for the CPC, Stunt Car Racer from Microprose. Chase HQ, the highly rated arcade, was finished just in time and scooped the arcade license translation 8-Bit prize. See AA54 for the full review. This month's master game, Untouchables from Ocean, was awarded Best Arcade Game 8-Bit, while the Best Sound and Music 8-Bit trophy was carried off by US Gold's Turbo Outrun. Best Graphics 8-Bit went to System 3's Myth. Ocean's Rave, Batman the Movie, deservedly grabbed the prize for the best translation of a non-arcade license on both 8 and 16-bit. The Originality Award went to System 3, while the best advertisement title was claimed by Mindscape for its Fiendish Freddy artwork. We'll be seeing the game later this year on its CPC debut. Other results of interest include Best Arcade 16-bit and an ovation which went to Anko's Kickoff, a game that will be seen any day soon on a CPC near you. The most coveted prize of the evening, however, was firmly claimed by Ocean, which was voted Best Software House. Not really surprising, as it carried off over a quarter of the silverware. AA was once again snubbed in the Magazine of the Year category, which was won by multi-format glossy The One. Never heard of it, Ed. Domark gets incentive. Incentive, the programming stars behind the Freescape classics, Total Eclipse, Darkside, and Driller, has joined forces with Domark and their forthcoming project Castle Master. The tie-up allows Incentive to get on with what it does best, programming, while the experts at Domark handle the ever more complex marketing needed to ensure that great games get the sales they deserve. Castle Master will naturally be based on the solid 3D system that has made Incentive famous. This time Incentive switches its attention to a medieval world where you have to confront evil spirits and rescue a princess into the bargain. The aim is to create an atmospheric feel that gives you that being there sensation. Both sides are crowing about the joint venture. I'm very pleased to be working with Domark. They're good to do business with and very professional, was the way Incentive's boss Ian Andrew saw the deal. Domark was no less enthusiastic about having what looks to be another guaranteed hit in their stable. It's completely brilliant. Just wait and see the results, enthused Domark's Mark Stragan. I've always respected Ian's innovation and am delighted to be joining forces with the company. Database Exhibitions and Surprise Takeover. Database Exhibitions Limited, the company behind the recent roaring success of Computer Shopper Show, has been taken over by Blenheim Exhibitions Group plc, Europe's largest independent exhibitions and conference organiser. Database Exhibitions has been around since 1982, when it organised a show for owners of Apple computers. At its peak in 1987, it was holding more than a dozen shows a year, including the Amstrad Computer Show, and attracted more than 1,000 exhibitors and close to 200,000 visitors. Blenheim has held more than 200 events in 9 countries, covering 20 different market sectors. The company concentrates on information technology, and over 70 of its shows have been IT based. The move will strengthen Blenheim's existing portfolio of information technology events, and Database will benefit from the expansion into the European marketplace. Continental events have already been planned for 1990, including the European Computer Expo in Cannes and Computer Arena in Malta. Easier said than done. Prospective purchasers of the budget art package Art the Easy Way should note that the program will run on 128K machines only, a point we neglected to mention in last month's review. The software sells at the giveaway price of £5.95 on tape and £8.95 on disc, and is available from the programmer John Peckham. No more sleep for you, Lana says to Snoopy. For reasons. Careers in computing. If you're interested in working in computing as a career, then the newly published booklet, imaginatively titled Working in Computing, may be worth a look. It looks at several different aspects of computing, including case studies to guide the reader through the ins and outs of their prospective careers. There's even a section on the leisure side, which includes a study on computer journalism. We'll have to watch our backs. Well written and informative, the booklet is aimed at the youngster deciding on their future job prospects and adults considering a career change. Working in Computing is published by the Careers and Occupational Information Centre. It costs £2.35 plus 50p postage and packing. Printing on the move. Straight out of the days of the ZX81 comes a printer that uses the old-fashioned thermal technology from a long gone age. Applied Systems Development Limited, the company behind the printer, is citing its machine as a truly portable printer for the man on the move. The tiny printer, with dimensions of less than 12 by 6 by 3 inches, works by jumping a high voltage spark of electricity from a stylus onto a roll of metallicized paper. Characters are produced by building up an image with blackened dots as the metal is burned away from the paper. The quality of the printer is fine for listings and the like. It's not the sort of thing you'd want to send to your bank manager. Although this type of printer has been until now essentially extinct, it has the advantage of being small, quiet, cheap to produce, and now portable. 2 versions of the machine are available. The portable version, operated from the mains rechargeable battery or car cigarette lighter, retails at £159 plus VAT, whilst the mains only model will cost you £99 plus VAT. Both prices include a 100 something. We don't know what. It's on the next page. Adventurers' Secrets published. AA secret agents have just got their hands on a confidential document that we are revealing at great personal risk to our readers. The 32-page dossier contains classified information on all manner of adventuring topics, including news, reviews, hints and tips, and in-depth articles. The bi-monthly magazine has plenty to offer to the CPC adventurer. Subscribers also get access to an adventure helpline and special offers on software. We will be feeding the publication to a hungry bullrog, who will be including an adventurer's fanzine roundup in the forthcoming issue of AA. Look out for it. The current issue of Confidential, number 8, is available from Intermediates Limited. Not much of a front cover, is it? Empire Strikes Back. Empire continues to press forward with a whole bevy of releases into the new year, and is currently previewing Wild Streets and Dark Century. The first is a wild and crazy beat-em-up extravaganza with a renegade-style character fighting his way to the rescue of a hero in trouble. Program notes boast big sprites and near-perfect animation, as well as a rather neat panther, who is your character's guide and protector, and which gets stuck in whenever you get stuck. Yeah, I seem to remember that panther does absolutely nothing in the game other than walk alongside you, and that's it. Dark Century has you tracking down 4 prisoners who have sworn an oath of vengeance to destroy the Earth. You've got 6 fully programmable tanks to help you in your task. The game features 1 or 2 player mode, split-screen action, 3D ray-traced graphics, and the strange codename, Take No Prisoners. The first screenshots have landed on the AA desks and look really promising. And these are just the roughs. Microprose changes gear. The new software giant of '89 was Shirley simulations specialist Microprose, which acquired Telecom Soft from BT. It's been starting this year with a new interest in the CPC. The first cheering news from Tetbury is that Stunt Car Racer is to be converted for the Amstrad. On other formats, it received praise by the bucket load for its 3D graphics and sheer playability. You play the driver of a power drift style car, racing one-on-one on the Stunt Circuit League. With features like cumulative damage over a season and special head-to-head matchups for interleague promotion. It looks set to be a stunner. The AA Testro squad are ready and waiting to bring you a full report ASAP. Microprose has also signed up a team of in-house programmers, a brave move. Their prime task is to ensure quick and quality conversions between formats, a task that has become even more difficult to achieve as the company's output has rocketed sky high since the takeover of the Bird labels. Firebird has announced the title of its new martial arts simulator, Oriental Games. It features 4 events: Kung Fu, Kendo, Hollywood Rules, Kickboxing, and Sumo. So if you like Rod and still trying to shed those pounds gained at Christmas, this could be just the game for you. As you compete with the big boys, as it were. The gloves are off shortly for the full review. P-47 looks like being another epic in the making. Not a social security simulator. This is a horizontally scrolling shoot-'em-up set in the Second World War and featuring the eponymous plane. As the kite has homing missiles and smart bombs as part of its special arsenal, it's not going to win any prizes in the accuracy stakes. But from the X-Out, X-Out from Rainbow Arts, as mentioned last month, has been in the review circuit recently. It looks as if Arc Developments has done it again. Like the forthcoming Darius, it's an underwater shoot-'em-up, but it boasts several unique features. The most impressive is the do-it-yourself ship designer, which you can choose the amount of armour you can carry, the position and function of drone ships, and even the number of lives you have. AI would be dipping its toe in the... So yeah, a lot chopped off here. Underwater Action and X Out. Also, I don't remember Darius ever getting released. Oh well. Iron Lord. This time last year, Ubisoft first touted its game Iron Lord as an imminent release. Now it's finally on the way. In this action adventure, you must right the wrongs of your evil uncle and set the fair kingdom back on the path of peace, justice, and the American way. As soon as Iron Lord returns from the crusade, we'll be there fighting our way through to a full review. Chase HQ OK. 1989's Arcade of the Year, Chase HQ, should finally emerge on the CPC any day now. It gives you the chance to play a crash-happy copper who's something around the ramming poops, who's yeah, I don't know what that word is. Zings around, ramming poops off the road. The scrolling looks ultra smooth and ultra fast, especially when you kick in the turbo boost. If you can prize the disc out of Adam Mad Max Waring's hand, we'll be bringing you the review inside story next month. Sraki, unbeatable value, unbeatable service. Reaction. Got something to say? Here's where our readers tell it how it is. Dirty dogs. I have a serious trouble. I don't find true pen pals in England. You must know in my country, Italy, there are very little Amstrad CPC users because this fantastic computer arrived later than other systems as C64 or Spectrum. 5 months ago, I knew your fantastic magazine and I was very happy because I noticed in England there's a few of CPC users. Then I decided to swap tips, pokes, or games with some helpliner. But I've had great deceptions. In fact, I sent an exhaustive letter with my list to 3 helpliners about 4 months ago. They replaced with their list and the titles they wanted from my list. I sent at once those titles with my requests, but they haven't sent anything, neither after my letters or protest. Now, I would know are all CPC users imposter? If you answer no, can you give me some address to true pen pals? Claudio Pistachio, Italy. Okay, laugh. But can you speak Italian? Claudio also sent the names and addresses of his pen pals. To save embarrassment, we didn't print them. How about it, lads? You know who you are, don't you? In fact, we'll go a little further. Anyone who accepts games off another helpliner and then doesn't reply gets taken off the helpline list. We might even start compiling a blacklist. You have been warned. Meanwhile, a message to Claudio. If you still don't hear anything from your pen pals after this, let us know. We'll be very interested. Ear. For some time I've wanted to buy stereo headphones for my CPC 464, so I was very disappointed when at the Computer Shopper show I kept being told that there's no such thing, yet I'm sure I've read somewhere that it does exist. Can you help, please? Mr. G. Baker, Northampton. Our resident technical wizard Adam Waring suggests the following. The CPC's stereo output is too weak to drive a pair of headphones directly. It needs some sort of external amplifier. Daytel sells a speech synthesizer and stereo sound booster for $29.99, which will do the job, but alternatively, you can simply plug your CPC into any hi-fi and boost its output that way. Our licensed game's just mindless violence. Yeah. Outrageous plug. If any readers are interested, I've typed in over 100 short magazine programs which I will be happy to send anyone if they send me the following. 1. A blank disc, discs only. 2. An SAE. 3. £1 copying charge. I'll also send you a 15k unpublished program of mine called Picture Players, a 2-player game. The programs are varied and interesting and a nice way to pass a couple of hours on a winter's afternoon. David Hall, Stretford, Manchester. Sounds fair enough to us. Hang on though. Maybe we should charge you £5 for placing a small ad. Okay, just don't do it again. Broadly speaking, it's that woman again. This month, Emma Broadley threats about 6128 ROMs, fumes over Christmas, and fulminates over licenses. Broadley brickbats. Any reader wishing to take issue with Ms. Broadley on any of the opinions expressed in her column may write to the following address. We have been advised to point out by the National Health Advisory Council that 16 weeks of traction is not a lot of fun. Okay. Upgrades banned, so reads the headlines in the AM scene. So what are we to make of this latest piece of CPC foolishness? Somehow or other, the industry seems determined to dig its own grave and then climb inside. Although, to be fair, you can see both sides of the argument. Amstrad is understandably happy to sell the ROMs on their own, while Locomotive could be expected to want a slice of the action, or put a spanner in the works if it's not forthcoming. In fact, it's just surprising that the whole thing should have taken so long to come to a head. The worst thing of all, of course, is what this will mean to the CPC. Quite a few people would have bought a 464 when money was tight, secure in the knowledge that they could upgrade to 6128 spec when they liked. Not anymore. The reason I'm so annoyed is that one of my own machines is in fact a 464. Now, I do most of my work on a 6128 now, of course, but that's part of the reason the latest news has come as such an annoyance. I want to use the same software on both. Now, I hadn't exactly set a date when I was going to get my older machine upgraded, but at least I could content myself with the knowledge that I could do it more or less at any time. Now, I'm beginning to wonder if my trusty old 464 is destined instead for the great interface in the sky. The Great Divide. Apart from anything else, the whole business is going to widen the gap between the 464 and 6128 even more. Already 6128 owners complain, I must admit I've done so more than once myself, that their machine is not getting the quality of software it deserves because programmers are always writing for the lowest common denominator, the 464. But what's the solution? Phase out the 464? Surely not, because as the cheapest CPC, it represents an affordable introduction to the CPC range in a market where money is traditionally tight, i.e. for school kids. Maybe one solution would be for Amstrad to slightly upgrade the 464 to 128k. It surely wouldn't add much to the price, maybe another £20. But would immediately give software developers just one specification to aim at. Maybe then we could expect to see more and better 128k software. Kiss and make up. Of course, a far better short-term solution would be for Amstrad and Locomotive simply to settle the whole thing amicably. The worst possibility is that Amstrad will simply not be bothered enough about sales from individual 6128 ROMs to agree a deal. Post-Christmas rush. Now, I'm the last person to run Christmas down. After all, it's about the one time of the year when everyone puts aside their differences, or ought to. Nor am I going to complain about the outrageous commercial hyping around this time of year. No, what really gets my goat is the way the entire industry gears itself up for one single annual push and then stops. As you may have guessed, I'm talking about the post-Christmas lull. Understandably, the software houses concentrate on getting all their top games out for Christmas. But have they ever heard of the phrase granny money? Although parents buy their kids games for Christmas, probably in the one last headling rush the manufacturers end up in, but a lot of kids do get money from their relatives for Christmas, probably after complaining about the horrid fluorescent double Kent feel sweater they got last time. Basically, once Christmas is over, there's more cash out there in the hands of CPC owners themselves than when it starts, which which is why this sudden suspension of activity in the CPC market at this time of year is not just an annoyance for our CPC owners, but a commercial nonsense. Of course, maybe this year the industry will wake up to the fact that computing goes on all year round. We shall have to wait and see. Lose that license. No, I'm not advocating everyone should drink and drive. No, that's the last thing I'd do. Instead, I'm just asking the question, is it me or are licensed games just boring, shallow apologies for real games? Maybe it's just because software houses have been aiming at the Christmas market, but it seems at least half the games coming out now are licenses of films or arcade games. And in every case, it seems to me they simply don't produce proper computer games. Films should be enjoyed as films, while arcade games are surely most fun when played in the arcades. Neither, in my opinion, translate properly onto the home micro. What happened to originality? Why don't people write games like The Sentinel or Spin Dizzy anymore? Maybe I'm just getting old. Hole in One. I couldn't just let this month go by without mentioning Jack Nicklaus Golf, ignoring the fact that it's another computer title that represents the computer industry's relatively male-oriented outlook. It's simply an excellent game. It's not just that I'm a golf fanatic. I shudder to think how much I paid out in club fees and new equipment last year, though I'm sure my accountant could tell me. Quite simply, Accolade has turned out a golf sim that actually looks like it takes place on a golf course. The backgrounds are quite superb, and although they take a while to draw each screen, it's worth the wait. Golf, after all, should be a leisurely considered activity. And what a change it makes from mindless alien bashing, thug kicking, and car wrecking. Okay. Operation Thunderbolt. Blockbuster follow-up to last Christmas's #1 hit, Operation Wolf. Now with twice the action, twice the fun, twice the challenge, Roy Adam is back. Who? The hijack report came from a DC-10 leaving Paris for Boston. Arab guerrillas were in control of Flight 102 and had turned the aircraft towards Africa. The plane lands in hostile territory and the terrorists begin their demands. Use the laser sight or the bulletproof vest, but watch out for air-to-ground missiles. Operation Thunderbolt, the incredible Taito coin-op conversion brought now to your home computer. Software at the speed of light. Fancy near instantaneous loading? Twice as much free RAM? If you thought chip blowing was just to stop your gob getting burned, read on as Enumering delves into the mysteries of EPROMs. How to set up your ROM. ROM for improvement? Oh. And for a penny. The equipment needed for producing EPROMs is not cheap, so you'll need to be fairly serious before splashing out the necessary cash. Microgenic Systems price list is a good guide. EPROM programmer, $89.99. $69.99. It's hard to tell. ROM board, $34.95. EPROM eraser, $22.50. 8K EPROM, $5.95. 16K EPROM, $6.95. Competition. Can't scrape together the necessary cash for an EPROM blower? Well, don't say we never look after you, because we're giving away a fabulous Microgenic Systems EPROM programmer and ROM expansion board, between them worth over £100. As ever, all you have to do is answer a few questions, just to make sure you're on the ball. What kind of light erases EPROMs? A. Infrared. B. Laser. C. Ultraviolet. What does ZIF stand for? A. Sync interface flexibility. B. Zero insertion force. C. Zilog instruction feeder. How many ROMs will the Microgenic Systems ROM expansion board accommodate? A. 12. B. 8. C. 6. Well, there's the picture of the thing that looks like 8. Got that? Right, just send the answers on a postcard to EPROM competition. Amstrad Action. Closing date is February 28th, 1990. Incredible but true. The Ninja Warriors. Amazing first issue, December 89. Best conversion of any beat 'em up ever. Yes, ever. Ace Magazine, December 89. Well, you better hope so. The Gallery. We'll get the Gallery early. Judge Dredd. It's all stretched. But there he is. David Ware of Ferrum has been inspired by the 70s classic sci-fi TV series Blake 7. Simon Buncher provides the most feared lawman of them all, Judge Dredd, drawn on parity, it says. C. Dawson ain't afraid of no ghosts and has sent in his rendition of the Ghostbusters logo. The direction comes courtesy of Manjit Tara, and Nicholas Neeling brings a bit of seasonal spirit for his Christmas picture. Garfield goes skiing from Manjit Tara of Bristol. Pluto comes from Nicholas Keeling. A Stone Age superstar Fred Flintstone was drawn on Art Studio by David Ware. Cartoon capers abound from Simon Cartwright. Oh, look at them all. How many can you recognise? Here's Pluto. It's Pluto, all right. It even says so. All you great CBC artists out there stand to win yourselves £20 and the eternal glory of having your pictures printed in AA. So send those pickies in to the address below to give us some brief notes on the paint package and any special techniques you used. And don't forget to enclose an SAE if you want your disc back. Oh look, Sylvester's actually caught Tweety. It's Frankenstein Jr. again. Forum, think you've got problems? Adam Waring has all the answers. Small wonder, could you please tell me where I could get hold of a program to save files on tape? I've no previous knowledge of saving files. Alex Small, Kilmacoyne, Renfrewshire. A book comes with a computer, Alex. It's called The Manual. It doesn't make for interesting reading. It has a very weak plot. But it's invaluable for learning how to use the machine. Inside there's a whole chapter devoted to using the tape recorder. Oh, to save a basic program, all you need to type is save file name. Couldn't be simpler. An apple a day. I want to transfer data from an Apple Mac to my Amstrad CPC 6128. Only text is involved, and it is not particularly important that the format is preserved. See any way of doing this? I use ProText as my basic format for text. Eamon O'Callaghan, Belfast. You've come to the right people, Eamon. We transfer data between CPCs and Mac daily. You will need an RS-232 interface and transfer software for the CPC, such as Comstar. Mac doesn't have a standard RS-232 interface, and is furnished instead with an even more non-standard RS-432. Basically, the two standards are the same, but have different style plugs. So you'll need to wire up a cable to connect both together. We use the shareware program Red Rider on the Mac end of a setup. Configure both to the 9600 baud rate, 8 data bits, 1 stop bit, and no parity. Use X-modem protocols to transmit the data, and Mac's your uncle. It couldn't be easier. Free for all. Public domain. Look at that stuff. Trenton Webb Freeloader Extraordinaire has a nice crisp tenner to give away. First time for everything, Ed. All you gotta do is exercise your powers of observation. See the box opposite for details. You can't get something for nothing, right? Wrong! Jerry Glenwright introduces the world of public domain software in the first of a regular series. Bill Gates and his CPM operating system. Okay. Sure. A small C interpreter. C is probably the most popular programming language of the decade. No computer software collection is complete without a vision. Schools and colleges teach it, and software houses use it to write many serious applications. C has gained popularity because it is easy to learn, although you can spend a lifetime mastering it. Portable, write a program on your CPC and transfer it to any computer running the language, and it'll let you. Get down to the CPC's nitty gritty and admits the operating system where you can perform all kinds of weird and wonderful things. It's now a free tenner. How much? Wait a minute. If public domain software is supposed to be free, how come public domain libraries charge you for it? Actually, they don't. The principle is that although you must not charge any money for the software itself, you are allowed to charge a reasonable amount for the job of duplicating it, printing catalogues, sending it out, etc. It is possible to run a public domain library as a paying concern on the basis of providing a service rather than charging for the software. Nomopoly. Yes, you guessed it, is a disc version of everyone's favourite board game, and what a good version it is too. You can play against the Amstrad CPC or another human. It's a well-drawn, fast, full-screen display of the board, and lots of excitement as you race to buy up property, build houses and hotels, and get the CPC to wind up with a soup kitchen, a broken and bankrupt computer. Nomopoly features on-screen dice scoring players' names, along with current assets, etc. And novel little cheats such as being able to nudge the dice if you don't like the outcome after rolling them. Here's a screenshot. No one is Rod Lawton. Oh. Daytale Electronics is going to be another 3-page advert, isn't it? Yep. Subscribe! CompuMart, amazing new low prices, no hidden extras. Prices include VAT and delivery is free. Naked Video, Conrad Besant probes deeper into the murky underworld of the CRTC in part 2 of his video effects series. Your table of registers. Using special effects, wobbling, clearing the screen, wobbling, scrambling, wobbling, clearing the screen, wobbling, shimmering, etc., etc. Scrambling, none, scrolling, none. Wobbling the screen. It's how the display scanning works. Next time, we will be using registers 1, 2, 6, and 7 of the CRTC to produce some interesting screen clearing routines. Cracking the code. Machine Code Maestro Michael Glettel gets into the sprite handling in part 2 of his advanced coding tutorial. So all the colours are represented, and you know why it gets all complex. Actually, I think mode 1 is probably the most confusing compared to the others. Mode 2 is the easiest, obvious. It's just like a bitmap. Spark educational software specialists. TurboSoft. Well, Action Test, it's time for games, finally. Finally. A whole host of gaming goodies to banish those post-Christmas blues. The wheel thing, which is the PAL imitation of the arcade. AA puts Domark's hard driving through the hoop on page 44. The Golden Bear tees off his in Jack Nicklaus Golf. Is it a bogey or a birdie? Find out on page 60. Rainbow Arts is having a ball with rock and roll. Music to your ears? Tune in to page 56. From Ghostbusting to Gang Busting is another film license takes the top slot. What's the result? A bloodbath or a brain basher? The Untouchables has arrived and are looking mean. But can they stop Scarface and Co? The AA jury weighs up the evidence and gives its verdict on page 46. Pro Tennis Tour has arrived on the CPC. AA calls the shots and serves up its judgment on page 49. Yes, that's exactly what tennis looks like, doesn't it? Sure. Also reviewed Joe Blade 3, Classic Arcadia, Test Drive 2, The Duel, Thrill Time, Saigon Combat Unit, Dan Deere 3. So that's what? 11 games? See how many we can get through. First up, it's Hard Drivin' by Domark, $9.99 cassette, $14.99 disc, joystick or keys. Take the chase from the French Connection, the stunts from a Bond movie, and a little speed from Formula One, and what have you got? It's a real hard driving. Domark's epic car racing conversion is here at last. And it's a game for you losers, lunch losers. You'll be shaken, rattled and rolled on a journey where all that matters is the speed in your clock. 2 tracks challenge you, not ordinary tracks, but tortuous, twisting strips of tarmac, leading you on a charge that defies both physics and logic. One's a speed track full of hidden surprises, the other a stunt course that relies on brutality, not subtlety, to intimidate drivers. The aim of the game is to get around either track within a set time limit. The prize for success being a showdown with the computer's own motor, the Phantom Photon. Win, and you become the ghostly champion. Fail, and your joystick will never speak to you again. This doesn't mean you see the Photon alone during the game, littering the track in the best M25 tradition, the other drivers who love to go head to head and bumper to bumper if you happen to be in the wrong place at the wrong time. The world of hard driving is seen through grey Victor Graphics eyes. A monochrome freescape style world with one big plus: speed. MP8 is no mere number set on the dial, but accurately reflected by the pace at which incidents turn into disaster. The choice of a single colour base is at first off-putting, but proves to be a wise decision. Your eyes quickly adjust, and soon even the slightest change in road direction can be seen and not felt by way of a tail slide. On each track, bends have particular quirks that will wring every ounce of driving ability out of you. The speed track is simply a matter of either more vicious bends and have to be taken at ever higher speeds. The stunt, of course, though, is where the real drivers hit time and time again. After a near vertical drop as a warm-up, you have to leap a vast gap to line yourself up for the loop the loop. An obstacle that subsequently leads to banked sections and even more nightmares. It's not the course that's important, but the hard driving itself. Initially, there are 2 options: manual and automatic gear change. The former is faster once you get the hang of staying alive while changing into fourth. For most mortals, though, the first few forays onto the track will need to rely on your CPC looking after the transmission. Steering ain't simple either. Rather than go for an unrealistic but easy quantum-style control, where one move to the left, right puts you into the full lock, might have given its supercar real-life handling problems, as you find out the first time you change into a 40 mph corner with the speed shown three figures. Self-centering steering, the one non-realistic feature allowed to creep into the game, adds prodigiously to the gameplay. With careful use, even potentially terminal oversteer can be corrected and made to pay dividends. What fun is in charging around a track in pursuit of some mythical opponent, though? The answer is crashing! Whenever you spin out, get T-boned, or just go ape off on a ramp, then you're treated to a graphic display of the resulting carnage. An instant replay facility kicks in, and your car's demise is seen from a side-on view. It's almost worth trashing in the tin box just to see the sparks fly. Initially, the game takes some getting used to, and there will be many crashes on the road to challenging the elusive photon. It is, with flight sims, the actual difficulty makes for the challenge that drives you on to greater glory, and maybe even completing the course. The gear change options add more difficulty for masochistic drivers with a death wish, but hard driving is a game that is built around developing skill and understanding of how the car itself behaves, skid-wise and speed-wise. Vastly different to the other racing games that are clogging software shells, it is unfair to compare hard driving to them. The game is designed for serious accident and control freaks, not just speed merchants and boy racers. Its one major drawback, though, is the limited number of tracks. In the arcade original, you went hell for leather on the speed track to earn another credit, and then went to the stunt track for some dangerous high-speed hijinks. On the home computer version, this incentive to tackle the simpler speed course is lost, leaving only the stunt track for some recreational mayhem. Crazy, dangerous fun is the only way to describe hard driving. As a game, it turns you in the genre of car games upside down. The obvious technical problems of coding a 3D race game have been overcome to produce an intimidating and enthralling test of the more mature speed nutters among us. Yet those who invest time and effort in learning the subtleties of the game will soon be able to complete both courses relatively quickly in both senses, and find there is little else to do except get faster and faster. Despite this, there will always be a space for hard driving in any Gamester's software library, because how many other games let you play chicken with trucks and then watch the fun on replay? First day target score, 50,000 points. Mike My Day. It's hard to read. You'd think that programming hard driving was a big enough challenge for anybody in 1 year, but not for Binary Design's Mike Day. Not content with coding the complex 3D routines, he also found time to something. Oh, make an attempt for the Guinness Book of Records. Last year, he took time out to cycle from Land's End to somewhere in just 14 days, 12 hours and 14 minutes on a unicycle. This beats previous record by nearly few days. Okay. Quite why he wanted to do this is a bit of a mystery. But if he continues to make games like hard driving together, who is complaining? Okay. I love white on light blue text. It's light blue background. It's wonderful. Second opinion. We've seen a multitude of driving sims recently, but hard driving really stands out from the crowd with its amazing 3D graphics. A difficult game. Keeping the car on the road is a challenge in itself, let alone doing the loops. Can be frustrating, but a great fun all the same. Green screen. Good all-round visibility. The verdict. Graphics, 81%. Vector graphics at top speed. It's one big grey area. Looks blue to me. Sonic's 62%. Intro tune. Standard revs noise. Grav factor 63%. It's fun crashing, which is just as well. Staying power 82%. A car you must learn to drive. Only 2 tracks. A rating 80%. Realistic racing of the highest caliber. Keep the speed up or you'll drop off. Here's your loop-de-loop. Alright, let's play hard driving then. Helps me click the right thing. Increase that a bit. Oh, it's a bit much. Here we go. Let's go. See how fast this 3D is. Hard driving. Control keys are Q accelerate, ignition, A brake, W gear up, S gear down, O steer left, P steer right, or use a joystick. Space centers steering. Escape abort, F9, F8, freeze on off. Drive on left or right. We get a choice to drive on the left or right. I should be used to left, right? Loading 128K version. Yeah, so you got a special key to center the steering. Hard driving. Hard driving is revolutionary driving simulation, combining an accurate model of race car handling with true 3D graphics. You can't get closer to the thrill of real racing without a fireproof suit. Hard Drivin, published by Domark, copyright 1989, Tengen Inc. Trademark Atari Games Corp. Conversion by Binary Design. Game code and 3D graphics by Mike Day, Spectrum Juggling Maestro of the Universe 1989. Amstrad specifics and special effects by Fred W. Thanks to Vicky Byrne, Evigen Frederick, and all at Atari. Management John Kavanagh. That wasn't much of the music, was it? But there you go. That's how fast our 3D is. That's when there's nothing on the screen, obviously, as well. Alright. Let's go. Alright, select transmission type. Auto. Right. Turn key to start. go. Speed forward. Turn. Go to the stunt track. There's a barn. Ow. Well, that worked. Uh-oh. We're at the barn. Where are we? We've lost. Oh, jeez. Supposed to slow down, you idiot. Oh, this is going well. You can cancel the replays at least. Wait for the truck to go by. It won't stop for you. Oh, was it too slow now, was it? Oh, no, still on. $60 it says. We're almost at 60 here. Well, I think I missed the bridge. Oh, oh. Oh, we didn't die. Oh, right again. Oh. Four seconds left. Game over. Try again. Try the speed track, I guess, then. We're doing 60. Uh-oh. I think I've got to slow down for that. Extra time! Oh, we did it! Play. Oh. Whoops. Whee. What? What hit me? Good. Not bad. Alright, track. Here comes. Running out of time again. Ah! Just crashing into nothing. It's fine. Game over. Well, it's hard driving. Not really all that much to it. Being in the arcade is the same. So we'll see most of what it does. So we'll move on. Right, next game is the Untouchables. Ocean, $9.99 cassette, $14.99 disc, joystick or keys. You want to know how to get Al Capone When he pulls a knife, you pull a gun. He sends one of yours to the hospital, you send one of his to the morgue. That's the Chicago way. Sound advice indeed. War has been declared on the streets of Chicago. The mob are out to rule the city, and Elliot Ness has sworn to stop them. The scene is set for a showdown, Chicago style. The only people with the courage to stand up to Capone are a crack squad of Treasury agents assembled by Elliot Ness. They cannot be bought, cannot be frightened into submission. They have no family to threaten, no dark secrets to reveal, and are very hard to kill. They are the Untouchables. The action is joined as Elliot busts into a bootleg brewery. As well as illegal liquor, there's one of Capone's bookkeepers skulking around. Al's been a bit of a silly boy and kept detailed records of all his underworld earnings. If you can capture him, then you have the basis for a case to take before the grand jury, a court even Scarface can't buy. Taking control of Ness, you must pursue the bookkeeper and get 10 vital pieces of evidence from him, tracking and shooting him into surrender as you charge around mounds of packing crates in the huge side view warehouse. Naturally, the Capone boys aren't keen to let the employer get carted off to prison and do all in their power to stop you. So you've got to dash around these platforms, dodging their bullets and collecting evidence, all within a very tight time limit. There are extra weapons and health packs available, but it's a time limit that will do you in. Following the lead from the warehouse, Ness forms the Untouchables and heads off to Canada for a spot of horse riding, sightseeing and smuggler nabbing. The mob are bringing a cache of whiskey across the Canadian border and have to be stopped. Guns and guts are the only tools at your disposal, and the 4 new colleagues face up to a veritable army of hoodlums. Fighting on a border bridge, you have to smash the whole whiskey consignment using your Tommy gun. The mob simply have to waste you and the team. Fighting in a lying down position, you roll from side to side, blasting away at anything. You aim using a cutout window in the score table and can change between characters just by shooting in the top right of left hand corner. This is essential because certain Untouchables need to survive as they play a key role later in the game. Level 3 will seem strangely familiar as this was the section featured on last month's cover tape. Ness and any surviving Untouchables have to fight their way to the railway station in a desperate bid to stop Capone's accountant escaping with the incriminating ledgers, the only things that can send Big Al to the slammer. There's this hard, intense gunfight that can all too easily send the Treasury boys to that big exchequer in the sky. Now it's time for yet another switch of perspective as the view changes to overhead. Elliot, being the nice, kind policeman type, he helps the mother haul her baby and pram up over the steps of the station just as the firefight breaks out. Being a butter-fingered policeman with no idea about public relations, he lets go of the pram and starts blasting away. The pram bounces off the steps and into the middle of the battle. Your job is to kill all the bad guys, keep from getting toasted yourself, and stopping the kitty from catching too many slugs into the bargain. Touching a mobster begins to turn the kid's picture into a haunting face of Capone, and stopping a bullet hastens the process. Be vigilant. One gangster survives and takes the bookkeeper hostage. Stone, the team's hotshot, has 10 seconds to kill the hostage taker before the bookkeeper gets a lead lobotomy. Sharpshooting City. This is the shortest of all the levels, but also the most decisive. So make those shots count if you want to see Capone behind bars. Succeed and you get the evidence required to haul Capone into the courtroom. He still has one card to play, however, in the form of Hitman Frank Nitti, who murdered your fellow agent Malone, who's still at large. He must be brought to book, so Elliot pursues him onto the roof of the courthouse, all guns blazing. Can you beat psychotic Nitti? Or will Elliot's days end ingloriously in another alleyway type shootout? Will it be a long drop for Nitti? or a hail of hot lead for Ness. This is your battle, and you have to find out for yourself. Graphically, Untouchables is initially disappointing, being uniformly monochrome blue, but the sheer variety of different styles used subsequently excuses this. The three shooting scenes are similar but are nicely interspersed with a platform game, the overhead train station extravaganza, and a Robocop hostage situation, just for good measure. The attention to detail is obvious, with touches like the interlevel newspapers, which either praise or ridicule your mob busting exploits. This mix means the gameplay is varied and intense enough to keep you plugging away until you complete each section, as you can be sure of something different next time around. Failure doesn't send you back to the first level either. Each level is accomplished by some wobbly 30s piano playing, but with the music off toggle, you can learn to live with it. Sound effects are not the Untouchable strong suit, and leave you wanting more to back up the great, if very blue graphics. The train station shootout is the undoubted highlight of the game, but the other levels aren't pushovers, and we'll see a mini joystick wrench to breaking point. The game follows the story of the film admirably, capturing the same feeling of increasing panic as team members are wiped out. This could have been a game based solely on firepower, but Ocean has resisted the temptation and created instead a much more subtle game that relies on reaction speed and memory as much as magnums. Following hot on the heels of its excellent Batman license, Ocean has come up with another film classic. The company has excelled in recent years in producing multi-style epics like Robocop and Batman. The Untouchables follows in the same vein and is simply an excellent package of individual games that unite to tell a story in such a way that the pace never flags and the bullets never stop flying. Unless you want to end up on the wrong side of those enforcers, be pure, be vigilant. Alfonso Scarface Capone, 1899 to 1947. Al was born in Italy, but moved to New York as a youth. He first joined the mob working as a bouncer. During this time, he was slashed across the face, earning himself the nickname Scarface. He moved to Chicago and built himself a crime empire, the like of which has never been seen before in mainland America. Bootlegging provided his main source of income, although he controlled virtually every racket in the Windy City. These exceptionally lucrative enterprises earned Capone in the excess of $105 million in 1927. He was eventually imprisoned for tax evasion in 1931. He served 8 years in Alcatraz, a new prison built specifically to hold this new kind of criminal. The days of mob control itself were numbered. After his release, Capone suffered mental deterioration and eventually died of syphilis, a forgotten tyrant. Oh, we've got a second opinion. It's very well blue, but once you get into it, the varied and innovative scenes keep you hooked. Green screen, dark and moody, but playable. The Volstead Act. Prohibition was brought in by the 18th Amendment to the American Constitution, the Volstead Act, 1919. It sought to ban the sale and transportation of any intoxicating liquor and beverages containing more than 1/2% alcohol. The law was finally repealed in 1931 by way of the 21st Amendment, which President Roosevelt declared that the nation needs a drink. The only obvious benefactors of the whole exercise were the gangsters, who introduced the words bootleg and mafia into the world's vocabulary. The verdict. Graphics 76%. Huge variety of styles. Very blue. Sonic 68%. Tunes at every turn. Iffy effects. Grab factor 91%. Brilliant but tough intro level. Reach a level and you stay there. Staying power 95%. 6 very different sections. God. A very hard game to finish. A rating 90%. An Oscar-winning film license from Ocean. See if we can get past that first stage. The Untouchables, yep, that's blue, alright. Please turn disc over to side B. Should have done this before, you know. Have to change. Okay, change to joystick. Let's change joystick. I did test this beforehand. Play game. And yeah. I feel that might happen. Okay. Try this again, Joey. Oh, damn it. Switch item ordering. Okay, now we do it now before we push any key. Switch item ordering. Okay. Untouchables lands on your Amstrad. Ocean Software, in association with Paramount Pictures, presents a John Woods production of The Untouchables, trademark. Trademark copyright 1989, Paramount Pictures, all rights reserved. Copyright Ocean Software 1989. Direction, James Higgins and Martin McDonald. Musical score, Jonathan Dunn. Choreography, John O'Brien. Pedantic criticism, Robert Hemphill. Good to know. Best boy, Colin Porch. Diabolical parties, John Brandwood. Wardrobe, Paul Hughes. Okay. Alright. Joystick. Should work this time. Here you go. Scene 1, the warehouse raid. Right. Remember my controls. Now, an arrow in the top right corner tells us where the count is. Apparently there's no full damage, I suppose it's something. Up and up and up. We've got to basically do this 10 times. There's no further up here. Oh, here he is. Oh, there you go. First piece of evidence. To the right. Health. Yeah, second piece of evidence. Up. Ow. There he is. Four. Up. Six. Go left. And down we go. Up. Eight. To the right. One more. 3 minutes to get it in. Down. There it is. That's it. Nest recruits 3 men for crime war. Scene 2, the bridge. Oh no, what am I doing? I'd tell what you're aiming at. Rolling around. This doesn't seem very practical. Oh, we're scrolling. We dying? Is that what's happening? Yeah, we're dying. Oh, don't roll into the... Game over. Government agency disbanded. Oh, try again. It's nice of us. Nice of it to allow us to start on stage 2. I'm not sure how you're supposed to change characters, switch between characters. Keep going. Roll, man, roll. We're going for... Oh, jeez. And he's dead. Here we go. Ow. I'm not sure if I'm really progressing here. Anything here? And dead. What am I supposed to do on the stage again? I've forgotten already. One more go. One more go. Ah. Let's shoot these barrels. We're making progress here. thing. Oh, they just appear randomly. Okay. Yeah. Now what? We got ow. I guess we just did. Yeah. The second stage is definitely harder than the first. Government agency disbanded. We'll move on. Move on to the next game. Right, next game. Wally Lisa 3 again. Next game is Pro Tennis Tour. Now we can suck at tennis now again. By Ubisoft. $9.99 cassette, $14.99 disc, joystick or keys. Anyone for tennis? Cried Rod as he strutted into the AA office carrying a racket and wearing his shiny new Reeboks. Gasped, "It's January and you can't play," abounded as he revealed a secret. Pro Tennis Tour from Ubisoft. Now, you may think that tennis is all about mincing around in white and shouting a lot. This couldn't be further from the truth. It's a game that involves skill, hand-eye coordination, fitness, mental toughness, jumping up and down a bit, and then shouting. Pro Tennis Tour provides all this for you, bar the shouting, which you'll end up managing quite well on your own. The game takes you on the Grand Prix circuit of the Australian Open, US Open, Roland Garros in Paris, and of course visits the place whose very name is synonymous with lawn tennis, Wimbledon. It may be midwinter, but now's the time to dust down your trainers, restring that racket, and get ready for some heavy-duty sporting fun. You're about to face countless different opponents on 3 different surfaces on your globe-trotting sporting adventure. Pro is seen from the stands, as it were, behind and above one player. The 2 playing sprites, equipped with dapper shorts and rackets, have limbs of rather curious design, but it doesn't stop them moving real fast. Making them play a shot is easy. You simply press the fire button and release it when the ball gets next to the right spot. The most daunting feature of other tennis sims has been the fact that you've been thrown in at the deep end. You're not familiar with the rules or the surface, and suddenly you're playing the fifth best guy in the world and getting murdered. Not so in pro here. You're given the chance to practice before you ever set foot on court. It's clever Ubisoft boards have rigged up a little machine which lobs balls at you in 6 different patterns to help develop an understanding of stroke play and movement. There's also a deserted court where you can get to grips with serving, so there's no barracking from the crowd when you miss. This is in fact entirely likely, as serving is made realistic and much harder by the use of cursor control. Press the fire button to toss the ball up and guide the joystick left or right, and the cursor shows where it would land when you hit it at that moment. Just let go of the button and send the ball racing away. It sounds tricky, but it's a darn sight easier than it is in real life. There are 2 types of competition to play in, tournament and 2-player. The first takes you on the tour, and the second pits you against a friend, enemy, in a direct confrontation. 2-player mode is great fun, but it gets a little confusing when it comes to swapping ends. The scoring seems a tad strange too. Tournament play is just a matter of working your way through a tourney until you meet someone who can actually return your serve. The whole game is a tennis player's winter dream. The scope for improvement in your own game is vast, and dogged hours spent dodging your opponent's shots will eventually pay off in victory. The practice facilities mean you stand a chance of winning even after your first few games. It's fun and almost addictive. Well, a well-constructed and programmed game. It means that even the most ham-fisted and physically dyslexic can play. Yet, it can only really have lasting appeal to those with a deep tennis fascination because of the level of realism achieved. This doesn't mean that others can't play and enjoy this thorough and well thought out sim. It may even make a few converts to the strange game that has the gall to interrupt test matches on the telly every summer. First day target score. Win an easy match. Second opinion. Just like the real thing, it seems impossible to hit the ball back at first, but with a bit of practice you soon get into the swing of things. Competently programmed, but a bit too difficult, perhaps for all but the most enthusiastic tennis fan. Green screen, clear as a bell. The verdict, graphics 69%. Easily understood graphics. A touch blocky. Sonic's 56%. Nice theme tune. Unimaginative effects. Grab factor 83%. Simply serving eventually. Practice makes for skill. Staying power 69%. 4 tournaments to win. Tennis fans only. Very tennis something only. AA rating 72%. Convincing tennis sim. Convincing tennis something. It's so hard to read. Light green on white. Convincing tennis action. You choose better colours sometimes. What am I doing? It's moving already. I've got to play the game first. Alright. Time to suck at tennis. Ubisoft presents Pro Tennis Tour. Original design by Blue Byte. Convision by ESP. Programming John Waldsmith. Graphics Stephen Day. Sonic's Nick Jones. Your demo. Look, it looks like tennis. It's like the real thing. But you got to get in position to hit the ball. You need lunges or something, perhaps. Practice. Machine. Program 1. Can we stop now? How do we stop? Can we stop now, please? How do we exit? Sure. We'll just restart the game then. Speed it up. Australian Open in Melbourne, round 1. you just get right around there. You just can't. Well, that went well. But trying where fire is not easy. Here we go. Uh, oh. There's a hitbox. Well, really? That was in. Here we go. Oh, that was a mistake. What? What? Well, that went well. That was not in. Boo. Yeah, blah, blah. We just watched that one go by. Well, suddenly he's gone dumb. What, really? Hey, good advantage. Yay, we won a game. How about that? I'm not gonna do anything about that. Oh, what was that? What? Yeah, that was it. Sure. What? No. Disagree. Oh. Oh. No. Hey, we won another one. Sure, I swung at that. Here we go. Here we go. Oh, 3-all. Oh. What's that? Well, oh, double faulted. Oh, fall. Oh, 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 oh. I disagree. What the hell was that? Oh, oh, here's the third set. Do we have to do 5 sets? Oh. Wonderful. I hit that. Oh, well, this is going well. Okay. Oh, well. What? Of course. Huh? Oh. 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 Good shot. Ah. Ah. Oh. Ah. Here we go. Ah. Oh, that went well. Oops. Wrong direction. Oh, yeah, we've got to do it's 5 seats. We've got to finish this, I guess. Oh. Oh. Well, that went well. Oh. Here we go. Really? Okay, you mind in? Okay. I swung too early. Well, that didn't take long. What? There we go. Oh. Oh. Oh, here we go again. Oh, really? Ah, I screwed it up. I screwed it up. Oh, screwed it up. Oh, that was a shot. Will I stay in the same spot for? Nope. Yep, that's it. Oh. Game, set, and match. We lost. So we won a set somehow. Weird. But anyway, I think it's sort of decent. Once you sort of get into it a bit, nothing really complicated about the controls. Just move and just swing the damn thing. It's getting you to go where you hit it where you want to hit it. It's the other thing. Anyway, we'll move on. Next game. Game is Classic Arcadia by Alternative 199 cassette, joystick or keys. Yes, here it is. The game that kept the AA team at each other's throats all month. Frantic oaths have been muttered as we've fought it out over the high score tales of three golden oldies, Classic Invaders, Muncher, and Actions. Are the three games on offer, and together they make an outstanding bundle. Astounding bundle. All three are copies of more famous arcade licenses, and very old licenses at that. They hail from the days when aliens came at you in neat and tidy waves, when power pills let you rule the maze roost, and smart bombs weren't invented. Very basic, they have a magic in their simplicity. It's hard to define, but impossible to ignore. Classic Invaders is merely a sheet upon sheet of multicoloured nasties slowly moving down the screen, your only defence being a feeble little gun and 3 shields. Complex it ain't, but great fun it is. Muncher is a Pac-Man clone, only with smaller and therefore more difficult mazes. Actions could be called Galaxians if copyright would allow, but what's in a name? The game's the same, pure and simple arcade fun. All three games have the speed of the originals, and then some. Gameplay hadn't even been thought of when these games were written, and yet it doesn't seem to matter. Fast and Furious copies, these are more than a match for the arcade parents of yesteryear, and at such a ridiculously low price, who could afford to be without them? First day target score, Invaders 50,000 points, Muncher reached screen 4, Actions 10,000 points. And we've played all these games before, these 3 games before, so we don't need to do it again. I did look that up. They've reviewed them all, so we've obviously played them all. Second opinion, anyone under the age of 20 probably won't remember these golden oldies. These are the games that started it all, with playability that you would be hard-pressed to find in many more modern games. Green screen, still brilliant. The verdict, graphics, 20%. Graphics look as if they go back to the Stone Age. But who cares? Sonic's 50%. Nice tunes. Blip effects. Grab factor, 95%. Instant addiction. Appeals to all ages. Staying power, 81%. True classics. AA rating, 79%. Simple, naive charm. As I said, we don't need to play them because we have done that before. The next game is Joe Blade 3, the player's premiere, $2.99 cassette, joystick or keys. Horror upon horror, 6 TV celebrities have been kidnapped by the evil Crack's Bloodfinger, and he's demanding $100 billion for the release. Who cares about a bunch of minor stars and TV lickmen? Joe Blade, that's who, the world's shortest superhero. Bloodfinger stashed the slabs away in the fortified tower block, 30 stories high. Joe must rescue the 6 hostages and defuse 6 bombs. On the course of his adventure, it will also be necessary to hack into the building's computer to find objects and break through security doors where he hasn't got a key. There are various helpful pieces of kit scattered around to help out, like disguises and bulletproof vests if you can find them. The game involves you taking Joe through a horizontally scrolling maze, clearing it of bad guys, collecting things, and rescuing people. Your man can run and jump, fires gun, and, well, precious little else. The maze is huge. The objects of your search few and far between, and negotiating a route to them is made all the more difficult by the absence of any kind of directional indicator. The real heart of the game are the computer hacking and lock-breaking sections, who frantically juggle numbers to gain access and avoid capture, but there's really little excitement even here. The weakest point has to be the graphics. They're of a poor quality that would make a spicky owner outraged. Single colours and line drawings are all you get, and they are far from breathtaking. The game looks exactly like its predecessors, hardly a recommendation. Other budget titles have run ostensibly using the same routines for each generation, e.g. Dizzy. These add to the original concept, becoming more complex game-wise, using the time-saved coding the basics to further tweak other aspects. Joe Blade 3 fails in this respect, remaining in the same league as the 2 previous Blade outings, tedious and confusing maze adventures with little pace and no real action. First aid target score, rescue a hostage. Second opinion, I never understood how the Joe Blade games came to be as popular as they did. Shallow gameplay and repetitive screens make for a dull, uninspired bore. Green screen, no difference, as there's no real use of colour anyway. The verdict, graphics, 35%. Soulless, spicky port, identical to 1 and 2. Sonics, 45%. Okay-ish tune. Guns that go, fut. Fut. Grab factor, 45%. Middly interesting, but soon gets dull. Staying power, 30%. 30 levels to explore, if you can muster the enthusiasm. A rating, 30%. Unoriginal sequel. Okay. Alright. Let's get this over with. Here he is, Joe Blade 3. With 2 guns. He's going to go both 2 guns. Because, sure, why not? Coding and graphics by BCP and Tom Prosser. From a concept by Players Premier Software. Have you played Joe Blade 1 and 2 yet? Everyone else has! Joe Blade is back! Coding and graphics. Why's it got exclamation marks in the middle of the sentences for? It seems weird. Keep clear. Can we go in here? We can't. Basement level. Can't do anything with the drills there. I should probably save the bullets. That would be an idea. Caution, thug zone. Key. Go this way. Whee, jump. We still lose a little bit of life though. Another key. What's in here? Caution, thug zone. Keep clear of what? Do we just go around in a circle? Did we go around in a circle? Yes, we did. Jump. Yeah, I still lose some life. Did we go in here or not? Oh, no, we didn't. We got a key. Yes, a key. Food. Food! Oh. My practice playthrough, I never found any ammunition at all. So I don't know if items are always in the same place. So this is a lift. Lower ground floor, floor 1, floor 2, floor 3. Oh. We can't go to floor 4, 5 yet, huh? Another key. Another key. I guess the closed door is a locked one, so we'll have to... Yep. There's a key in here! Because of course there is. I assume the key's always locked as well. I've got a disc. A computer disc! Running out of ammo. What's in here? Another key! Using keys to get more keys. Why am I just... I should keep my ammo out of... Yeah. Ow. Nearly did. Yeah. What useful keys. Completely did. Duel Blade 3. That's what the bicycle table says. Well, that went well. So you've got to shoot everything, otherwise you're going to be dead in no time. Can we restart now? We have to just listen to this music for a while. Oh, what? Come on. Oh. No. No bots. Do we have to restart it? We have to restart to just to play again? Seems weird. Ah, try again. Oh. Keep clear. Oh, items do seem to be random. No detonators. Joe, in disguise! Yeah, this basically gives you invincibility. So you don't have to waste your ammo. So okay, items seem to be randomized. It's foodie already, huh? Food! So notice when your disguise actually wears off. Yes, a key! Oh, it's worn off. Found a hostage! Oh, there you go, it's our first day target score. We found a hostage. So even the hostages are random, I guess? There's nothing in here. Ah. The ground floor. No detonators. Well, we just use a... Oh, I just use a dude. A lift pass! I've got no keys now. I need food. I can't go in there because it's locked. Locked door. Oh, how many floors are there? Let's go to floor 1 then. Oh, that's mine. Forgot about that. It's just lying there. You're stupid enough to touch it. You blow up. You've stepped on a mine. It looks like you're hidden or anything. Guess you got to jump over it or something. Don't mistime your jump. 3. Let's move on. What is next is Test Drive 2's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There are 6 games to go. I think Jack Nicklaus Golf is the last one. Do we do Test Drive 2? Yeah, I think we will get it out of the way. So, next game. Test Drive 2, The Duel, Accolade, $9.99 cassette, $16.99 disc. Joystick or keys. There's this Ferrari F40 and Porsche 959, you see, and they're racing across America. What do you mean you've heard it all before? It's a new game, honest. Obviously, the world's 2 most battered supercars are once again wheeled out for another head-to-head race across the 55-mile-per-hour roads of the US of A. The kid gloves are off and the driving gloves slipped on for a race against the other car, or the clock, in what sets out to be a true driving sim rather than Go Faster Boy Racer arcade blast. Once the flag goes down and the race begins, you can drive either the Ferrari or the Porsche to breaking point and beyond. True to the simulation theme, you are placed behind the windscreen rather than the car, so you can watch the dials and gears in situ, as it were. This limits your view and is more realistic. And besides, what is there to see at 190 miles per hour? In front of you is a lurid yellow desert, with the 2-lane blacktop scything across the landscape. A quick glance in the mirror tells you it's time to go, and your competitor is gunning his engine behind. The sound effects grumble from a subterranean grumble to a feeble rasp like a bee with a grudge. And your motor slowly picks up pace. The speedo and the actual speed of the car seem to have little in common, which leaves you relying on gut instinct, but isolated from the game. Both cars handle like Rod's Skoda. How many more times I don't have a Skoda, Ed. With massive tendency to oversteer at the slightest hint of a bend. This is something you're constantly adjusting as you scream, eventually, along the highway. The first stage is simple flatland excursion, and the second takes you into a more interesting and perilous mountains, complete with tunnels and long drops. Hazards come in the shape of trees, your competitor, and other slower cars. You must complete a set distance before running out of gas while driving as fast as possible. It's as exciting as it gets, a fast drive through some pretty featureless countryside amidst a host of real bad drivers and road hogs. The driving is controlled by either joystick or a particularly odd set of undefinable keys, making life even harder. This driving control lark proves to be a simple idea that's rather hard to execute. You're supposed to push the forward to accelerate, back to brake, press the trigger to change gear, etc. But that's not the problem. For a game that aims to recreate the sensation of driving wildly powerful machines, there's a precious little to do and when you do try to make something happen, it takes ages to show up on screen. The major irritation is the horrendous collision detection that plagues even the most sensible overtaking maneuver. The standard way of burning someone off in motorsport is to approach directly from behind, disguising which side you're going to pass them on. In Test Drive 2, this is impossible, as your windscreen shatters, signifying a crash, when you're 10 feet behind the rear bumper. The featureless landscapes are too flat and offer too few reference points to provide the illusion of speed. The other cars are unclear and jumpy, which makes avoiding them the only sensible course of action. This spoils the game as you're reduced to staying on the road and out of the repair shop rather than racing. There are plans to introduce a further set of tracks and cars as supplementary software for the game later in the year. Let's hope the variety is a bit more marked than is shown between the Porsche and Ferrari. With so many car games in recent months, the competition has suddenly become a lot tougher, and more is expected from both graphics and gameplay than either before. Test Drive 2 unfortunately doesn't deliver on either score. First day tower score complete stage 3. Group Test. Test Drive 2 is an original, i.e. not licensed product, and yet it shows a distinct lack of innovation. It fails to match the sheer crazy fun of Power Drift. It is pipped it to the post by Turbo Outrun and fails miserably to outsim Hard Drivin. Second opinion. The car is hard to control, the backdrops are tedious, single colours, and the course unexciting. Little improved over the original. Green screen. No loss. The original wasn't even released on the Amstrad, was it? Certainly don't remember it. The verdict. Graphics 54%. Ambitious attempt at simulation. Dull landscapes. Sonics 3%. No music. Bee-like engine noise. Grab factor 56%. Appealing, if aging, idea. Hard to control. Staying power 45%. Long roads to travel. Lacks impetus. AA rating 44%. A game that stalls on the grid. Life gets tougher in the mountains. That cliff is very solid. Alright. Guess we have to play it. This is Accolade, isn't it? Yeah. Test Drive 2. Difficulty easy, hard. Hard, easy. Okay, off we go. Yeah. Problem is, this has no auto center. Oh, you crashed. Now 4 lows left. But just sort of auto center very slowly. What did I hit? Someone tell me what I hit. Some idiot just ran into the back of me because it was 90 miles per hour is too slow. Congratulations on making the record books. You got the highest score for this road section. The computer won this round. The computer is winning the game. That was 5 seconds too slow. Oh. Alright. I'm just trying to be. I'm going to hit something in a minute. Don't get out of the way. I was waiting. Game over? If I hit a cop, it's game over? Really? Okay. Make a note of that. Don't hit cops. Race against clock or computer? This is the clock. Alright. Try again. Oh, can't keep steady. Oh, look, I passed. Sure. I was close to it. I'm sure it's as close as you can get. Congratulations on making the record books. You got a high score for this road section. Let's just see if we can make it past stage 2. So be careful with something. Stick to the speed, it seems a lot easier. Uh-oh. Don't go too fast, though. It's hard enough to control as it is. Who's in a rush? Keep it still, you jeez. Okay. 2 sections. 4.9 miles. Uh, 88 miles per hour. Cop. Just waiting for that to happen. Game over. Yep. Hit a cop. Game over. They just get in your way. So if you go slow, that's what happens. Well,